Hey, what's going on? It's Romeo. What did we get into today? We talked about the situation that happened downtown Bakersfield with the bombing and the bomber and the hostage situation, using your man's truck, and then, of course, complicated relationships. Let's dig it into it.
I want to talk about this because I thought this was pretty interesting. So yesterday I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. He was talking about his kid. His son just graduated from high school. And I was asking him where his kid's going to go to college. And he says his kid's going out of state for college. And the kid, my buddy's kid, I won't say he's been sheltered because he hasn't been sheltered, but, he's lived at home his whole life. And now he's out. Now he's about to move out to go to college in another state away from his parents. And he was telling me how he gave him a list of things that he needed to know before he left. He goes, yeah, I think there was 15 or 20 things on it. I don't remember. The reason I don't remember is because I never saw the list. But I can't remember if he said he had 15 things on it or 20 things on it. And I never got to see the list. And I was kind of thinking about it later on last night. Like, what's on that list? Like, what? And when did, I don't know, when did kids start college? He's probably moving in August, probably. Maybe July, probably August, I think, early August. They're going to drive him out to wherever he's going to live. But what do you think is on this list? And I was trying to think about it myself. Like, what would if I was making a list of things that a young man needs to know before he goes to college, before he moves? I mean, he's literally moving out of his parents' house on his own. I mean, college dormitory, but it's still kind of on your own. But what would you put on that list? If you were making a list of things to teach your kid that your kid had to know before he or she moved out of the house, what would that be? And I was just thinking maybe how to cook, how to wash your clothes. Check the oil in your car, maybe? I don't think you need to know how to change a tire. It probably helps. Probably don't need to know how to change the oil. I was just trying to think of what could possibly be on this list. And to be honest with you, do you even need a list anymore? You can find everything on YouTube. You can look up everything on YouTube. Or you can AI it. How do I do this? What would you put on the list? If you were making a list for your 18-year-old son or daughter, they never lived on their own before, they're moving out, they're going to be out of your house, you're not even going to be close enough. What would you put on that list? Cook, clean, cook, I don't even know. I think he said he had 15 or 20 things on this list. I wish I would have got a copy of the list because it would have been easier for me to have this conversation with you. But what would you put, Mom and Dad? All right, 842-547-7. Some of you may have already made a list. Some of you may already be teaching your kids something because they're leaving for college. Or maybe they're moving out of the house. I don't know. What do you guys got? A friend of mine put together a list. This kid graduated college. He's heading off, or graduated high school. He's heading off to college here, and he's going to put together a list of things the kid needs to know. What would be on your list? I don't know what was on the list. I never saw it. 842-547-7. Good morning, Hal. What's going on?
Hey, Romeo. So I was trying to answer your question because I do have a kid that's going out of state to college.
Right now?
And yes, and they have been pretty sheltered.
Boy or girl?
It's a girl. So my list was a little bit different. My list involved things like teaching her how to navigate a party. So how to avoid certain situations.
Very good.
We actually did practice runs where I had bought these little glow-in-the-dark pills off of Amazon, and the game was how many pills can I flip in her drink without her knowing.
That's pretty smart. Absolutely. How would you get in?
I got in 5. And she was like, there's no way. I was holding my drink. And I said, yeah, and I was talking to you and I was sliding pills in your drink. Because, those type of things, unless you really been outside off the porch like that, you really don't deal with that. And so I had to, let her know, people do this. I had to, teach her, this is how you got to navigate certain stuff.
You're absolutely, I totally agree with you. Wow, but you got 5 in before she said anything.
She didn't even realize. She was like, what? When did you put that one in? And I was like, while we were talking, I was like, and I had told you to look over there or something. I said, and you looked, and I flipped the 2 in at the same time.
That is hilarious. Well, you're a good mom. You really are. That's awesome. That is so awesome. Well, what else you got?
Hey, listen, we can't play like these kids are not stepping out into the real world.
Well, back in the 90s.
The real world comes with people that do bad things.
I know.
And sometimes it's people that you went to the party with.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's not like the 90s where you guys could just be hoes.
Listen. I'm so glad we didn't have Snapchat back then.
Come on. Put together a list. This kid graduated college. He's heading off, or graduated high school. He's heading off to college here, and he's going to put together a list of things the kid needs to know. What would be on your list? I don't know what was on the list. I never saw it. 842-547-7. Good morning, Hal. What's going on?
I just want to say a shout out to all those parents that are okay having their kids move out once they get to a certain age. Because I know some parents that they have their kids still living under the roof by the age around their 20s and 30s, and I don't think that's okay. But I just want to say a shout out to those parents that, once they get to a certain age, they just let their kids to go ahead and move out. Because I know someone that has their 23-year-old daughter still living at their home, and it's not doing them a favor, actually. It's just letting them freeload off the parents.
Is the daughter going to college or just living there?
No, she works. She works, but I don't know. I just feel like, it's time for her to move out of the house because she has to be independently. But, yeah, she doesn't pay or anything. She doesn't pay bills or anything. The only thing she pays is her brand new car. That's about it. But she doesn't.
You sound like a hater.
Absolutely at all.
You sound like a hater. What do you care?
No, I mean, it's not a hater. It's like, that was one of the... Oh, I'm not going to get into details, but I just want to say, I just want to say shout out to those parents that, let their kids to be independently, and that's good. That's good. That's teaching them what's out there in life.
Okay. All right. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right. She sound like a hater, huh? Why are you mad? Because your parents kicked you out at 18? Anyway, RD42547-7. Hey, Romeo. If you gave your kid a list, it means you didn't raise them right. You got to teach them young, not last minute, especially when you're leaving out of your parents. Kids need to know most basic cooking before 18 months, unless it's a Mexican thing, which I doubt. Kids need to know most basic and cooking before 18 months? What does that even mean? Unless it's a Mexican thing, which I doubt. I don't understand what you mean. I don't believe that. I mean, if you give your kids a list of things like, to do, to learn, to know before they move out, how's that lady that just called and said that she wanted to teach her kid how to deal with party situations? Okay, that's a list. That's something you need to know. You're going to start teaching your kid at 12 how to deal with party situations? I don't know exactly what you're trying to say here. I think just haters. First this girl called me a hater because the kid's not out by 23. You're texting me being a hater, saying if you have to give your kid a list on things to learn before they move out, then you didn't raise them right. Why are you guys haters? RD42547-7. If you were putting together a list of things to teach your high school graduate because they're going to college right now, they're out or they're moving out. Maybe they're just moving out. Do kids still want to move out when they graduate high school? bro, we couldn't wait to move out when we graduated. We were trying to figure out who we were going to live with, how we were going to split the rent, who was going to get the big room and the small room. Yeah, I don't think kids do that anymore, do they? Anyway, that's another subject. But yeah, what would you put on that list? What do you want your kid to know before they're gone? So my buddy was telling me he put a list together. His son's going off to college out of state, and he put a list together of things his son should know before he leaves, right? I never saw the list, and I was thinking, I wonder what's on that list. What would you put on that list? Alrighty, 4254777. Hey, Rome, I would tell him to wrap it up. Oh, yeah, wrap it up. Make sure birth control. Make sure you understand birth control. Yo, Rome, that girl was a darn hater, and is giving like she got kicked out at 18. Seahawk Lou moved out at 36, and he did fine. Okay. That is kind of true, though. She kind of did sound like a hater. 23, I don't think 23. I think at 23, you can honestly, if you're working, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. If you still live at home, you might still be trying to figure it out at that point. All right. Good morning. What's going on?
Hey, man, I'm calling about that. You're saying that list of people that, like, kids leaving and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, like, I think it's this generation, brother, to be honest with you. This new generation, they don't want to leave home.
Okay. Okay. I get it.
I'm just putting it into my perspective. Like, I run a kitchen, and I have, like, 20-plus staff, and I had assumed the majority of my staff was in their early 20s because a lot of them lived with their parents still. Come to find out, they're in their 30s. And that really alarmed me because I was just like, hey, yo, like, 21, I had my first place already. I was kicked out at 18. You know, I didn't have a route back. And I look at these kids, and I ask them, like, hey, so what's your plan? And I'm calling them kids. They're in their 30s, but, like, you know, like, they're living with their parents. Their parents still pay a majority of their bills.
Okay.
I'll ask, like, hey, like, what's your plan? You know, you're in your 30s. What are you going to do for the rest of your life? And I get I don't know. And that's alarming to me.
Well,
like,
do you think that's the majority of people? The majority of 30-year-olds? Is that the majority of kids? I mean, I will tell you this, and I will tell you this because I have a different experience than you do in today's society. In my bubble, I have a different experience. All the kids in my bubble, the 18-year-olds are all moving out to go to college, or they're moving out to go to work or trade school. There's only a couple of them that I know that are staying at home. So that's why I say, is that, do you think that's everybody, or do you think that's just your bubble of people that you see?
I don't want to say everybody, but it's just weird and it's kind of alarming because I came from up north and I had experienced something similar. And then when I came down south, there's another batch. And I'm just like, hey, yo, like,
okay.
by 30, you should have a game plan at least. That's just my perspective.
Sure. Okay. That's not bad. That's not, I don't think you're wrong. I'm just wondering, we have to, since we do this show, we have to talk about generalities. You know, we have to peel we got the majority, the minority of what we're talking about here. Do you think most people are don't know what they're doing, or do you think these kids today are all trying to get out the house? Which one do you think is more popular, staying at home or getting out the house?
Honestly, from my point of view, I think it's staying at home because I don't even see the kids playing outside as much as they used to.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, man. I appreciate the phone call. Thanks, brother. Later, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Already 4254777. Good morning, Don. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Ron? Seahawk Lou.
What up, Lou?
Hey, Ron, white people gotta lie. I didn't move out of my parents' house at 35.
Oh, they said 36.
Oh, 36?
Yeah.
I moved out at 30, right on the dot, man. And I'm fine. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm not the one saying there's anything wrong with it. We have some hater calling up. She was mad at parents not letting their kids move out at 18, I guess.
Yeah, they gotta let them go, free as a bird. But you know, that's what I think. If they stumble, they could come back to the house. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Absolutely. All right.
Absolutely fair enough.
All right,
man. But I left at 30, and it's okay.
I'll let everybody know. Even those parents live next door. Good morning, Hot. What's going on?
Romeo, as a parent, I think we've all prepared for this day that we send our kids off, and some of us dread it, some of us look forward to it. But I'll be honest with you, I'm here taking notes. I want to hear some good things that I can add to my list, because I do have a list made
What
up.
do you have on your list now?
Trust your instincts. You know, if you have a bad feeling, follow that instincts. You know, all money is not good money.
Okay.
Call me for anything, just don't call me collect.
Okay. That's funny.
Check your oil, brush your teeth. Don't live above your budget.
Hygiene. Okay.
If you ain't ready to have kids, make sure you wear protection.
Okay.
If it
not
ain't
bad.
worth going to jail for, don't do it. There's a lot of really important things, that I try to pass on to my kids that were passed on to me. But
Sure.
I'm taking notes, so if any
Okay.
parents got some good ideas, let Raider Dave know.
All right, Dave. That's funny.
All right.
Later.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Already 4254707. Do you moms and dads have a list of things you need to teach your kids before they move out? Or are you just winging it? Already 4254707. Yo, Rome, you got to manage your money. Rome, if my kids want to stay a couple of years while they work or go to school or just enjoy life a couple of years, I'm okay with that. But not until you're 30. Okay. Hey, Romeo, put it like this. If you still play video games, you haven't matured. You still a kid. Well, that's a funny conversation, by the way, when you talk about that. Because, I still like to play video games sometimes. But, I mean, it's just the games I grew up playing as a kid. You can't, I don't know about that. I mean, if you excessively play video games and you try to make that your life and you're not making any money off it, okay, now I understand that. But video games are a hobby that people have now grown up with. So it's going to be, so I don't think you can really say that. But okay, I get you. If you play video games to avoid your family or avoid getting a job, I would agree with that. But just playing video, I'll play a little Mario every once in a while if I'm not doing anything at the house. Hey, dang, Rome, I can speak to this, but you ain't picking up. You don't like me no more? Well, ain't nobody calling me right now. Already 4254707. Did you guys pay attention what happened downtown yesterday? I'm sure everybody heard about it. It was probably on Kern County activities and every news cycle. This whole, I guess somebody walked into the building, the Chase building on 17th Street, and with a supposedly had a bomb. I don't know if they really had a bomb or not. And I kind of got a couple of different stuff. First, it's bank robbery. But then somebody told me that I guess the guy was trying to was actually focused on the Kern County schools. Is there something like that? CPS? Apparently, the story I was told this morning. And I don't even know if it ended. Or is it over with? Did they get the guy in the custody? Hold on, let me see. But I was told it had something to do with CPS. The guy went to jail. He was falsely convicted or something, and he went to jail. And he was trying to clear his name by going in there with a bomb. But I don't see if... let's see. I don't see if... I don't see if it ended. It ended, right? Anybody know? Kind of a wild situation, man. I mean, to see that going on and the way people distort the news nowadays, it's hard to really tell what's going on, what it was all about. Because first it was a bank robbery. Who robs a bank with a bomb? I mean, that's who's getting away with that? And then there was, so I guess it ended up having to be, and I believe that it had something to do with CPS more than I believe it was a bank robbery. But I don't know. I don't know when it ended. Not totally sure about that. But I think it's over with. I think I saw something on the news this morning. I think it's over with. But yeah, crazy situation, huh? All right. 842-547-7. You guys got any details on that to share?
Yeah, Romeo, it's over. He surrendered. They got him in handcuffs, locked him out.
Oh, when did do you know when it ended?
About 45 minutes ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's insane.
And you're right. It did have something to do with CPS. He did over 10 years on a crime that he alleges he didn't do. There was really no solid evidence, but they made him take this plea deal so that way his crime wouldn't get life. But he argued that he was innocent the whole time, and he was just kind of trying to make a statement, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
But it reminded me of the movie 30 Minutes or Less. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
30 Minutes or Less. No, the last movie I saw was, it's going to sound dated, was Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah, that's pretty old. Very old. But we're global news. Everybody's been talking about this crazy dude with the bomb strapped to his chest in Bakersfield.
That's the second thing I saw that went international. Just like some kid, I guess some kid umpiring baseball, Little League Baseball went international. I saw that last week or the week before.
Yeah, we were all having a poll here on what's going to happen if it was going to get apprehended.
Did he really have a bomb?
He was ex-military, so it seemed like he had something, and they raided his home in Oildale and found other explosives and bomb detonating stuff. So he was pretty experienced in it. So it might have been.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Reporting live, Raider Dave.
Raider Dave is on the scene. That's wild, though. That's a wild story. Yeah. I wonder what happened. I wonder what he did time, huh? For CPS or something. He did time. He said he was innocent. That's a hell of a way to make a statement, though. This guy, I guess, he went into the downtown bank building. I don't think he was actually trying to with a bomb. Supposedly he had a bomb. And I don't know, it started about 1:00 in the afternoon. I don't know what time it ended. Raider Dave said it may have ended just an hour or so ago. I'm not sure. But he was holding hostages. Apparently it had nothing to do with robbing a bank. It had something to do with Child Protective Services. He might have did some time in jail, and he was claiming he was innocent. So now that he got out, I guess he was trying to prove his innocence, or I don't know what he was trying to do, to be perfectly honest with you. There's not a lot. I can't find a lot online about it. So I didn't even know if it ended or not till Raider Dave called. But you ever been in any crazy situation like that? I was thinking, I don't know how many hostages there were. I know that a couple of got let go, but I don't know how many. Man, could you imagine? You're just walking into the bank building or whatever. I don't even know. I've never been in that building, so I have no idea what the situation was. But, man, could you imagine? I was trying to think of the most ridiculous, wild, tense situation I've ever been in. And I just don't... The closest I can come to that is when I was in college. I was in a radio store, a car stereo store with another friend of mine, and some other friends of mine walk into the store and say, "Hey, we're going to go out and fight these dudes. Why don't you come help us?" And I was like, "Nah, because I'm not a fighter. No." And then, 10 seconds later, 30 seconds later, you hear shots fired, and my buddy shot a couple of people, took off, and I was on video talking to him. But that wasn't even close to the scenario that these people must have went through yesterday. I can only imagine. I can't even imagine, to be honest. But that would be the closest to any craziness. I don't know, man. You guys ever been in a crazy situation? I think I have a friend, if I remember correctly. She was in a shoe store or something when it got robbed. But I don't remember the whole story. Yeah. All right, 842-547-7. All right, what is wrong with you chicks, man? Why is it that you women cannot drive a pickup? A couple of things. This happened a while back. This happened last year sometime. A buddy of mine, he got a brand new pickup, right? His wife borrows it. He hits a pole, backs into a pole, right? For some reason, it's a backup. How can you chicks not back up? They got backup cameras on them. How do you hit things? And I'm going to tell you why I say that. And this happened yesterday and today. So my buddy calls me yesterday. He says, "Hey, Rome, would you mind going and picking up something for me? My wife ordered something, and she doesn't have a truck. He doesn't. He has a truck, but he was out of town, so he just called me. And I couldn't go pick it up. I said I had a tea time. I was playing golf. I said, I can't go pick it up, but just Tell her to stop by, take my truck, and I'll use her car. And he said, okay. So she came by, grabbed my truck. And when I got home and she brought my truck back, there were bushes in the bumper. Like she backed up. This is what I'm assuming happened because this is what I saw this morning at the gym. She must have backed in somewhere. And you know how they have a row of bushes and you back in? She hit the bushes and caught some bushes. Didn't mess up my truck. She just hit the bushes. No big deal. But you have a backup camera. What the hell is wrong with you chicks? My God, learn to drive a truck or don't drive one. Now, I know why you guys should never let your wives or your girlfriends or whoever borrow your truck. Women should not be in trucks, apparently. And the reason I say that's funny is because I was walking out of the gym this morning. 2 women parked next to each other in Chevy or GMC HDs, full size HDs. Both backed into the bush. They both backed in, but both of them bumpers in the bushes. What is wrong with you people? Why can you women not drive pickups? Stick to your SUVs. Alrighty, 42547. The pole one was funny though. That happened last year. A buddy of mine, brand new pickup. Oh, brand new, and his wife borrowed it. Backed into a pole. That was fun. The bushes are fine. The pole was a little more serious, but man, you women need to stay out of pickups. Unless you're riding shotgun, you need to stay out of them. So it's funny. I left a friend of mine. He was out of town, had his truck. His wife bought something. So I said, I can't go pick it up. He called and asked me if I'd go pick it up for her, is what he did. And I couldn't because I was going to play golf. So she said, so I just said, have her come get my truck. If they'll load it up for her, it's fine. She brought it back. She had bushes in the bumper, the back bumper. So obviously, wherever she went or whatever she did, she tried to back in somewhere, and she backed into the bushes. And today I saw 2 women do it in the parking lot, just backed into the bushes. They got backup cameras. They got sensors that vibrate and buzz. What in the hell is wrong with you chicks? You guys do not belong driving trucks. It's ridiculous. All right, 842-547. Hey, Rome, I don't mind my wife driving my truck. I got good insurance. The problem is every time she uses it, though, it always comes back on empty. So I'm always out of gas. Well, why is she using it? I guess that's better than her denting it up or, better than her breaking it. Like I said, a while back, a buddy of mine got a brand new AT4 this last year, maybe sometime. And his wife, after a month, backed it into a pole. These things got cameras in them that are unbelievable. How can you do that? All right, 842-547. Hey, Rome, why are you being so unfair? Women can drive trucks. I drive a truck. Mine's perfectly fine. Okay. The only women that I trust to drive a pickup are that group of women that have horse trailers. Those women seem to never have problems driving. You see them driving on the freeway all the time. They never seem to skip a beat. So that's probably the only women I trust driving a pickup. Whoever that group of women is that haul horse trailers. Talking about these letting women drive your pickup. You husbands and boyfriends, you letting your chicks drive your trucks, man. They be messing them up somehow. They just cannot drive pickups. I do not understand it. Already 425-477. Yo, Rome. I'm going to tell you this. I drive a big ass Suburban. My husband drives a pickup. I bet my Suburban is bigger than my husband's pickup. So don't be saying that women can't drive trucks. Well, then why is it when you get in a truck you mess it up? No. I don't know why you guys cannot drive them. Already 425-477. Yo, what up, Rome? I heard the suspect from yesterday's downtown chase situation wanted absolutely nothing to do with KCSO and didn't even want them sending in a negotiator. But the moment he heard Seahawk Lou was in the area, he immediately cooperated upon hearing. Oh, whatever. Local legend. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Hey, good morning, Rome. No one of that. No one. No, wait. Good morning, Romeo. No, none of that's bad. Not your buddy hitting the pole or the bush. What's bad is when you let your girl borrow your truck and you get it back with the rim scratched up. Bad. Oh my God. That is the worst feeling ever, Rome. And yes, I know it's a scratch on the rim, but to a guy, that's a no-no. It makes the truck look ugly as heck. Yeah? So I don't understand why these women, man. And I kind of agree, man. You see all these Rosedale moms rolling around in their Yukons and their Suburbans, and they're as big as trucks, right? Or their XLs or whatever. But yeah, how can they be messing up your truck every time they get in it? Don't ever let a woman drive a truck. That's the word. I'm just going to let all you guys know right now. Don't ever let her drive your truck. All right, 842-547-7. Talking about letting your girl borrow your truck, man. And you just got to understand. This is back to the guy who says you never want to let your girl drive your truck. She come back with scratched rims. And the reason why I think scratch rims are worse than a dent on a truck, it's because you couldn't fix it. But then most places don't want to waste your time. I'm trying to fix scratches on the rim. Sucks. So every time my girl wants to use my truck, we always get into a big argument because I always tell her no. Well, I will tell you this about the car situation. I am a firm believer, and a lot of people think I'm weird because of this. I am a firm believer that I have my car, you have your car, okay? And we don't share. I am a firm believer in that, especially if you own a truck. Don't ever let a woman drive your truck. She will jack it up. I mean, already 42547-7. Hey, Rome, I got to tell you a great story. I let my wife use my truck one day, and she stopped to put gas in it. She ended up putting diesel in my pickup. I asked her why she did it. She said she thought all trucks ran on diesel. She didn't know that trucks ran on regular gas. Oh, God bless her. Oh, my gosh. That's hilarious. Yo, Rome, my truck's lifted with big wheels. My wife scratched them going through Starbucks drive-thru. I was pissed. Like I said, man, I don't know what it is. These women can drive their SUVs. Even the women that drive the big SUVs can drive them perfectly fine. But once they get into a man's truck, for some reason, they forget how to drive. They don't pay attention. They don't give a damn. And all of a sudden, your truck's wrecked. I don't understand that. Because the woman who called and says she drives a Suburban, they're as long as a truck. They might even be a little longer, some pickups. But my God, why can you women not drive a truck? Like I said, the only women I trust driving a truck are those women that haul those horse trailers. For some reason, those women know how to drive a truck. Maybe it's because they care about their horses so much they don't want anything to happen. I don't know. I don't know what the situation is. But don't let her drive your truck, bro.
Hey, good morning, Romeo.
All right, what up, brother?
Hey, man, check it out. What's going on in Bakersfield? This place getting crazy.
Oh, you mean with the bombing thing?
With the hostage situation?
Well, I mean, it happens. I mean, the guy was pissed about something. I don't know. I guess he did 10. From what I understand, Raider Dave said he did 10 years for a crime he didn't commit with CPS. So he was trying to, straighten that situation out.
At the bank?
No. I guess the Kern County of Schools has an office in the building.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think he was trying to rob a bank with a bomb. I think he was trying to get the attention of whoever, I think the Kern City Schools or Kern, I don't know. Had something to do with CPS from what I understand, not to do with robbing a bank.
Man, that's a tough situation.
Apparently he just got it. Well, I mean, it happens.
You don't even really have to do much. And then they'll be on you.
What I'm trying to figure out through the whole situation, though, is this. When people get pissed, for some reason they pull out their phones and think that that's going to solve their problem. I'll just video myself on Instagram talking about what they did to me. My man went old school and just walked in with a bomb. Damn. I mean, that's What happened to going on TikTok or Instagram and pleading your case like all this?
If he did 10 years for no reason, well, now they won't give him to do the 10 years.
Yeah, don't quote me on all that. I don't know. This is all secondhand information. I really have no clue.
That's all Raider Dave info.
Well, somebody else told me about it, but I have no. Raider Dave is pretty up to date on the criminal scene though in Bakersfield. So,
hey, but I agree with you. That's my boy, and I 100% know. He better than Kern County activity.
All right, man. Later. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, nowadays everybody just grabs their phone and makes a video and it's going to change the world. I don't know what was. I really don't know the whole situation. I got bits and pieces of how it all went down, but it is kind of crazy to see it happen in your town. Let me get to some of the things you text message. Just so you guys know, I do keep everything you text me. If I don't get to it, I print it out and just hold on to it so I can get to it later. Hey, Rome, what do you think about this? I've been dating this girl for about 6 months, and I really like her. She has 2 kids, and the baby daddy is involved in the kid's life. Well, I found out that the baby daddy takes the kids to school a couple of times a week. Sometimes he'll stay at her house the night before he has to take them to school. I'm not sure what to think about that. What do you think, Rome? I can tell you what everybody listening is going to think. Oh, she's still sleeping with her baby daddy. Why does he stay at her house? I mean, I get it. The kids probably get up early for school. What time do kids get up for school? 6, 7? So if he's trying to, I guess it's easier for him to just go to stay there. I have a couple of questions for you before I guess well, here's a couple of questions for you. One, has he stayed the night when you've been there? Because if he has stayed the night when you've stayed the night, or have you stayed the night at her house, that changes the dynamic a little bit. She's probably being straight up with you. And where does he sleep? Also, does he like work nights or something? Does he work late? What time does he show up there? I mean, is he showing up, like if he has to take the kids to school the next day, is he showing up getting off at 5 and just going over there and staying there until the next day? They're having dinner together like a family. I mean, what's going on? It sounds a little strange to me. I mean, it's not unreasonable for exes to get along, especially if they have kids, and try to do what's best for their kids. But you still got a couple other questions there, like where does he sleep? Has he got his own room? Sleep on the couch? Does he? And when does he show up? I mean, if the guy works, let's say he's a bartender, and he gets off at 8 at midnight, 1 or 2, and he's just coming over, sleeping, getting up, and taking the kids. I can understand that a little more than if he's got a day job and gets off at 4, and he's just going to her house and staying. So that would change the dynamic, I guess. I'm gonna say get out. I guess if I would say that's too much to handle. No woman's worth that. You can go find a woman who's just as good as her without that kind of baggage. A baby daddy who stays over and kids. Okay, you don't need to do all that. So a guy sent me this, and he was talking about, I guess he's been dating this woman for about 6 months. And apparently she has 2 kids, and her baby daddy, her ex, takes the kids to school a couple of days a week, he says. So sometimes he'll stay at her house the night before, which I guess makes some sense, right? Because kids get up early. I mean, kids get up pretty early, right, for school. So you gotta get them ready. So it might make it easier. He just doesn't know what to think about it. Yeah, I don't know either. That's interesting. Already 425-477. Yo, Rome. Tell that guy it's only been 6 months. He needs to get out of that relationship because I can almost guarantee she's still sleeping with her ex. Now, it may not be all the time. She may sleep with him between boyfriends, but she's always going to sleep with her ex. I have 2 kids with my ex-wife, And when she's not dating anybody, we still sleep together. The funny thing about people who have kids together, they always think that it's okay to go back to sleep with each other, and it doesn't matter whether they're in relationships or not. Kind of a been there, done that type of thing. Hey, Rome, ain't no way they aren't sleeping together. I don't care about his job, his scheduling, or if he only has rides one leg and rides a bicycle. He can pick him up in the morning. Well, okay, maybe. So this guy said he's been dating this girl for 6 months, right? She got a couple of kids, but the baby daddy, I guess, is involved with the kids' lives. So he found out that the dad takes the kids to school a couple of times a week, which is right. Nothing wrong with that. But sometimes he stays over, which, yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe it's weird. Maybe it's not. I mean, it would make it convenient for him to just get up with the kids, right? Get them ready and go. But I guess it just depends on the other, what happens surrounding the situation. Does he, what time does he show up? What's the deal? Does he have a key to the house? I mean, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered before. I would say leave her. It's only been 6 months. Just get out. I mean, they may not be sleeping together anymore, but I would say get out. Just because why would you want to deal with those headaches or those questions when there's a lot of other women out there who aren't doing things like that, who aren't putting their relationships or their future relationships in some sort of jeopardy by having these types of possible red flags. So I would say just go find a woman without kids or with a baby daddy that's locked up or something. Go find one where the baby daddy's not around. That would be easier if that's what you're into. Alrighty, 4254777. I do want to say this, though. I do believe what the last person said, that they're still sleeping together. And that couples who have kids, for some reason, their logic when it comes to jumping back into bed with each other, that it's okay. It's not cheating because we've already been there, done that. So it's like an extension of the previous relationship, no matter when they have sex again. I do believe that most people think like that. That, men don't care. They just want to have sex. I think women justify it by saying, well, we've already had kids together, so him sleeping with me is nothing new, so it doesn't really count as a new experience, even though you may be in relationships with other people. It's not considered cheating. I do believe that a lot of women think like that. Men, I don't think men care. They're just trying to get some. All right, 8425477. This guy's story is kind of wild, right? He's been dating this woman for 6 months. Apparently, the baby daddy, she has 2 kids. The baby daddy's still very involved with the kids, takes them to school a couple of times a week. So sometimes the baby daddy will stay at the house, which he doesn't know what to think about that. He was asking me. I don't know. They could still be sleeping together, or he could just be, I don't know. There's so many questions that need to be answered. Hey, Rome, I still go stay at my baby mama's house to do the same. I'll go sleep with the kids in their bunk beds. We have a son who is autistic, so sometimes instead of bringing to my house, depending on how late she falls asleep and she is getting overwhelmed, I'll just stay. Well, that is a little bit of a different situation. I get that. I did tell her once one of us gets serious about someone, that will stop out of respect to whoever we end up with. So with that all being said, it leaves some more questions for me. Does he just stay the night, or is there a reason he does? Well, yeah, that's a good question. I mean, it makes a lot of sense with you. If you have a special needs child and you got to do what's best for them and keep them in their comfort zone. So that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I don't know. He leaves more questions than answers basically right now. Already 4254777. Hey, Rome, that sounds complicated. It does sound complicated. He's only been dating her 6 months, bro. You don't need complicated. You can find uncomplicated. You know what I'm saying? No woman is worth complicated, especially if you've only been dating her for 6 months. I know the first 4 to 5 years after me and my ex split, we were still hooking up. but it's been 2 years after both of us going through serious relationships and now out of them again. We haven't even looked at each other that way at all. And he stayed at my house with the kids. So 2 years ago, I would have definitely laughed and said, oh, there's no way they aren't hooking up still. But now I know you can have a co-parenting relationship without any extras. Okay, fair enough. Already 42547-7. So a guy sent me, said he's been dating this girl for about 6 months, right? She got 2 kids. Apparently, the baby daddy, her ex, is very involved with the kids' life. So every once in a while, he'll stay at her house because he takes the kids to school a couple of times a week. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? 842-547-7. Good morning, Don. What's going on?
Romeo, when did men become the women in the relationship?
What?
Yesterday's call, today's call. I thought the dream was to have a woman that wasn't all over us all the damn time, that let us go out and be a man. But now we're the wimps in these relationships.
Why do you say that?
Because they're, I don't know, too emotional about what's going on. If it's a 6-month relationship, is he saying he's in love with her already?
Oh, I see. Yeah, he might be a little up in his feelings right now. Or maybe he's just asking because this might be the turning point where he has to decide whether he's going to commit or not. I mean, that could be why he's asking the question. But I get with you. I mean, if you're going to fall in love that quick, ain't no woman in a 6-month relationship worth complicated. I'm going to tell you right now. There ain't a woman out there that's worth complicated after 6 months. So.
Right? Don't date a woman with more problems than you have.
That's a good rule to live by.
Okay, Romeo. Have a great day.
That's a good rule of thumb right there. Don't date a woman with more issues than you. Although, don't they all have more issues than you? RD42547-7. Hey, Romeo, let me tell you my situation. So my baby daddy or ex-husband and I broke up 4 years ago. We got divorced. Now, we have a 19-year-old who just graduated high school and is in college. Last year? Okay. And we have a 14-year-old. When we split up, we said we would both take care of the kids, that we would not get in serious relationships because the kids had to come first. So we still do sleep together because of the kids? We still do sleep together because of the kids. Oh, you guys still sleep together because you made a decision that the kids were going to come first. No outside relationships until the kids. Now, let me tell you, Romeo, when our youngest, the 14-year-old, graduates high school, things may change because both our kids will be out of the house. Do you still live together? That's a good question. Both our kids will be out of the house, so things may change and we may go off and find other people to settle down with. But until that, we still have a relationship for our kids and still have a sexual relationship. Okay. I mean, I can't argue with it. I mean, sounds like you guys had a plan. The kids come first, right? So, okay. What do we got here? Yo, Rome, my baby mama treats me bad because I don't sleep with her. That goes for when she's in and out of other relationships. If she got a baby daddy, that door will always be open. It's funny how women are like that, huh? If you'll always sleep, I think most of you, not always is a strong word, but I kind of believe with what some of you guys are saying. You will still sleep with the father of your child because, well, it's nothing new. I guess it's because you have a child that it makes it okay. I don't know. I guess. Yeah, whatever. Hey, Rome, speaking as a woman, it depends. Are the kids under 5? If so, it's more likely they're sleeping together. How long has he been separated from the ex? Women tend to stay in their comfort zone and to keep that their body count low. Is that why you women will sleep with your ex baby daddy or your baby daddy because Keeps your body count low? Does the ex have a place to stay, or is he living with mom? This is important because he could just be trying to get back in the house. And what are the boundaries? Would it be okay with his 1 year? Would this be okay with it? With this? Would he be okay with this 1 year from now, or not? He needs to leave now. I mean, yeah, I think he just needs to get out, because the thing. I mean, let's be honest. When it comes to dating, or when it comes to relationships, right? I understand a couple who's been married for 10 years and they got a couple of kids and their lives are totally intertwined, and that's complicated. Something happens, you guys want to get divorced, you separate, the separation, you try to get back together. I mean, there's a lot of complications involved in relationships. And I understand that. I understand a guy or a woman or a man who just got divorced after 10 years and are trying to straighten it out. You know, it's complicated, right? It's complicated. You got kids, you got houses, you got responsibilities, and you're trying to, start all over again or figure it all out. So you may still, hook up because it's easier than dealing with, everything else. But I don't understand is you guys who walk into complicated, right? There's no reason. No woman is worth walking into complicated. Now, if you're a guy who's been with this woman 10 years and she decides to leave you, or you decide to leave her, or something happens, and now you're dealing with all this complicated situations because of this relationship, okay, she's worth that, because you were there 10 years, now you got to deal with complicated. But I'm just saying, any of you guys out there, if you're walking into complicated, no woman's worth it. I guarantee you. You can find one just as good who has no complications in her life. Okay? So this guy, 6 months, I would walk just because. RD4254-777 Rome. So me and my wife, when we broke up, we said we would never talk bad about each other if we weren't together anymore to our kids. Now that I'm in a new relationship, it changed. She went back on her word. What do you think about that? I think women are emotional beings, and they can't control themselves when they feel like they've been done dirty. The question is, why did you guys split up? Did you cheat on her and she was just keeping her tongue, keeping her mouth shut in front of the kids? Or did you guys just decide we're not going to be together? There's questions that need to be answered. But I think you should have expected that from her, because, if you broke up with her, she's never going to be able to keep her mouth shut long enough. She's always going to hold a grudge and be bitter. It's just how women are. Hey, Romeo, what if the woman is not complicated, but her BD, baby daddy, is, and they have 3 kids? Should I run? Yeah. Here's the thing. And you guys all, either you've been through this in Bakersfield, or you know somebody that's been through this in Bakersfield. You don't need to deal with complicated women, okay? There is nothing special about a complicated woman who brings baggage from her previous relationship, a la her baby daddy. There's nothing so special about her that you got to get into that complication, that you got to get into that situation that could cause you more headaches than not, okay? You can go find somebody, and this is nothing against you. This is nothing against, women in complicated ex-relationships with baby daddies. It's nothing against you. It's just there's nothing so special about you that anybody who doesn't want to be involved in that sort of situation or complicated relationship, they can just go find somebody who doesn't have that complication. There's enough women out there that if you're one of these guys that, hey, man, you got, like you said, what if she's not complicated? Well, she is complicated. You can't, if the baby daddy, they got 3 kids together and you're telling me the baby daddy has the issues, okay, well, you can't exclude her from that situation because she's in the middle of that situation. That makes her complicated. That makes the relationship a complication that you have to deal with if you decide to date her, okay? I mean, even if you want to date a single mom, there are plenty of them in Bakersfield that don't have issues because the baby daddy's not around or the baby daddy's somewhere, it's just not there. If that's what you want, go get it. But I'm just saying there's nothing special about it. Now, some of you guys, you're in a position where that's all you can get is a complicated woman. And you got to suck that up. But if you're in a position where you don't have to, like this guy for 6 months, nah, man, she's not worth it. And that's nothing negative on her. It's just, why would you deal with a bunch of nonsense when you don't have to? So this guy started something that's kind of interesting. He says he's been dating this woman for 6 months with 2 kids, right? Got a baby daddy who sleeps over, apparently, because he takes the kids to school a couple of times a week. So he's an involved parent. Is he cheating? Are they still sleeping together? What's the deal? Should he stay is what he's trying to figure out. I don't think you should stay because if you got something going on in your life, then there's no reason for you to deal with her complications of her ex relationship, if that's going to bother you, okay? Obviously, it must because you asked me the question. This is the guy who said, this is the guy, he responded. He said that him and his wife split up. They were taking care of kids. They promised they wouldn't talk bad about each other. But once he got in a new relationship, the baby mama started talking bad, which it happens. They're bitter. Women are bitter people, man. You just can't. You should have known that was going to happen. And I asked him how the relationship is. He says, Rome, I know I never cheated on her. We just work nights. We just work nights, come home, go to sleep, wake up, spend a couple of hours with my kids and back to work so she can have everything. Okay, so it's just your work schedule got in the way and then you guys just drifted apart. Okay. Well, yeah, then she's mad. I mean, of course she's going to talk bad about you because she's holding a grudge against you because you didn't do enough. You should have been able to work all you could, provide her the lifestyle she wanted and your kids, and still had as much time as she wanted or needed from you. Okay, that's just how women are. They're a little selfish sometimes, but hey, what are you going to do about it? Let her talk bad about you. I do want to say this though about you dudes. And I know a lot of you guys are idiots and you fall for the okie doke and you see these women that are so amazing and you think they're just great. And then you find out, they're not. Like the guy who said, I want to read this. This guy said, what if the woman's not complicated, but her baby daddy is? They have 3 kids. Well, if he's complicated, she's complicated because they're a package deal at that point. But what I've learned in Bakersfield, and part of it is these dudes' fault. You don't even know your own self-worth, dude. I mean, most of you guys, I say it like this because you guys are so desperate and lonely and insecure, you can't even look at the fact of what you have to offer. And that's a real problem. If you're 35 with a good job, you're buying a house, you got a car, you got good work ethic, and you're a good dude, you don't have to put up with a lot of things from a woman. I'm not saying you got to take it. I'm just saying you don't have the deal. If you want a woman without kids or baby daddies, or you want a woman with no complications in her life, they're everywhere. And you can go find them because you don't have any complications in your life. If you're 6 months out of Laredo and you need a place to stay, you might have to deal with the woman with 3 kids and the crazy baby daddy. Okay? Your options are much more limited at that point. But you guys really need to look at your life in less of an arrogant way and go, you know what? I'm a good dude. I got a job. I'm buying a house. I don't have to deal. I can pick and choose the type of woman that I want. That's not going to stress me out. That's going to be down to be part of my life. You dudes don't understand that because you're so damn insecure and afraid to be alone. you will take the next, the first thing coming and deal with all the complications and then wonder why your life ended up the way it ended up. You dudes got to think better of yourselves. You got to have a higher opinion of who you are and understand that if you wait long enough, if you just understand, you get to choose. Most of you men in Bakersfield believe that you don't have a choice in who you settle down with. You absolutely do. If you got the confidence and the resume, you can take your pick of the litter. But you dudes don't understand that. All right, 842-547-7. Hey, Romeo, I hear what you're saying. These guys that got a lot to offer a woman don't need to deal with a bunch of BS when they don't want to. Here is the problem, though, that you are not talking about. I am a 37-year-old single woman. I have a good job. I'm a college-educated individual. I have my own house. The guys that you're talking about either don't want to settle down because they can get all of the women that they want, so they're just out there being players, or they're so arrogant, they're hard to deal with. They don't know how to humble themselves. Okay. Morning, now. What's going on?
Romeo.
What up, man?
Man, you said some of the realest stuff I ever heard now.
Well, these guys are idiots, man. They don't realize what they got to offer. They over here settling when they don't have to because they're afraid to be alone.
I probably shook three in the Bakersfield top 10.
You
know what I mean? because of who I am. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'll leave the best of them, and best believe the rest of them don't even stand a chance.
Okay. That's
man,
funny. Later, brother.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, insecurity and loneliness will really lead you to make some bad decisions. And I know you men all think, a lot of you dudes, most of you dudes think that it's her choice. Nah, bro, you don't need to. If you're a good dude and you got everything going on, you don't need to settle. You can take your pick. It's that simple. It really is that simple. All right, what did you send me here? 842-5477. Hey, Rome, I'm a 40-year-old dude. I work out in the oil fields. I make some really good money. I got a high position at my company. I own a house, couple of cars. The thing that you fail to realize when you're talking about this, there's not a lot of good women to choose from in Bakersfield. They all have been ran through, or they got baby daddies, or they're cheaters. You're giving a lot of credit to these women here. I don't know if I'm giving women a lot of credit in Bakersfield. I'm just saying they're out. You can pick and choose. I mean, maybe the circle that you run in, I'm not going to say that, because you work in the oil fields, I'm going to guess you probably don't have a college degree, so you probably run in different circles based on the people that you work with, even though you said you were higher up in the company. And maybe your bubble of women that you've met in Bakersfield, that's just what you see. Morning, what's going on?
What's up, Romeo? Ready to rock here.
Hey, Rob, what's going on?
Hey, it sounds like Homeboy's going to have a complicated relationship with him. So either he's, going to deal with it, or let them, continue what they're doing. And, I don't know. Makes no sense, basically. I mean, a guy should never be in that position, you know what I mean? Regardless if they're friends or not, they're trying to double parent, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't disagree. Okay. All right.
Yeah, just tell him to get out while he can, or he's going to live a complicated, relationship with her where they're both going to have sex with her when she wants either one,
Oh, God. All right, get out. Maybe they'll do it together. I don't know. We're doing here live from the Just Wing It studios. Hey, Romeo, some females are turning into dudes these days, want to be players too. Well, yeah, I mean, they are. There's always... in the 90s, 80s and 90s, they called them hoes. In 2026, they call them players, right? Yeah, I mean, there's females of all kinds out there. There's women who want to be taken care of. There's women who are going to be heads of industries. There's women who are going to be, hoes and players and whatever you want to say. There's all different kinds. They're all different. So I don't understand why you guys don't value yourselves, If I'm just going to put it to you like this. If you're a dude with a good job who owns a home, you have something to offer some woman, and you can pretty much have your pick of the litter as long as you're a cool dude. I mean, you can't be a jackass. That's still, your personality still plays a part in what kind of woman you can get. I mean, but you devalue yourself. I feel sorry for you guys out there that devalue yourself. Oh, I work, you're over here comparing yourself to the meathead with the six pack who spends 40 hours a week at the gym and has to drive his ex-girlfriend Saturn around to get by. You compare yourself to that dude because you got a little bit of a beer gut and you work every day and you think that he's the winner. He's not the winner. You're the winner. So you might lower your standard when you don't have to.
Bro, you know what the problem is these guys that got money in the house and a good job is they want arm candy. So they're trying to find women who aren't ready to settle down. They're club hoochies. Little chicken heads that look good on the outside, but they're horrible people on the inside.
Yeah. You're right about that. These guys are. You're right. I agree with you that is going on a lot around town. That's why I said, but they just don't. I mean, they can go find instead of their arm. What's funny about Bakersfield in 2026 is arm candy today comes in all different ages. It's not like back in the day when over 40 women started to go downhill. Nowadays, they're looking great in their 50s, their 60s. I mean, whatever's going on. Women are staying healthier and looking better. So
for real, I remember when my mom was my age, she was not a cool 40-year-old.
Hey, don't tell her that.
Hair still, and that good stuff. So
yeah, I mean it's real, and a lot of these guys are too ignorant to understand that. So I'm with you. I understand what you're saying. I think that's happening a lot today. I think you're right.
I'm just saying maybe they should lower their standards just a bit if that's what they're looking for.
Well,
it
depends on what you mean by lowering their standards. Is it by age? Is it by looks? Is it by
looks? I think by looks, because I have a friend that same thing with the other guy. He's a foreman. He makes good money. He's single. He's been divorced for a while. He's a good dad, but he dates all these chicken heads.
Is he going through a midlife crisis, or is he trying to settle down?
No, they want his money.
Okay. All right. I get it. I get what you're saying. I don't disagree with you. I think you're absolutely right in what you're saying. I think that happens a lot in Bakersfield. I do. All right.
Lower
Thanks
your
for calling.
guys.
Bye. My point, though, is you don't have to lower your standards. And because women today, of any age, pick it. 20-year-olds look great. 30-year-olds look great. 40-year-olds get great. 50-year-olds. I was just at a golf tournament a few weeks ago, and you can see, because at some of these golf tournaments I go to, the guys who set up their tents and their booths and their jobs, they want hot women there. And there were hot women from all ages. The 40-year-olds, the 50-year-olds, all the way down to the 20-somethings, So that's my point. You don't, if you're looking for looks, there are women out there that are in your age range that look great. And they're not just after your money. That's my point, though. You guys are so, it's just Bakersfield, man. You guys are too stupid. Just too stupid to know what your worth is. And when you do, you're over here getting played by some chicken heads. She's right about that. When you don't have to. What did you get here? Hey, Ron, we need to get you a clerical collar. You be preaching to them. I was married for 12 years, made good money, divorced for 7 years, 42. If the person I be dating don't got act right, I don't chase them. I'll replace them. Women pick and choose. So can man. So can a man. You don't have to settle, and I'm not afraid to be alone. I'm a good guy, so I'm the catch because I got myself together. I can do bad all by myself. Exactly. I mean, here's the problem with you dudes, and I don't understand the logic. I don't get it, and I like the way he said, I'm okay with being alone. But most of you dudes are so insecure with yourselves, especially some of you cats out there who have been through relationships before. You let those bad relationships jade you, and you make more bad decisions, right? Or you won't settle down because you know what? It's just I can't trust women because I made a bad choice. I mean, look, man, there are bad men and women everywhere. Everybody's been in a relationship that hasn't gone right, or you've all been in something. But if you let that complicate you and your decision-making process, then you're never going to settle down, you know? But the problem is most men are insecure and they're afraid to be alone. But being alone, what does that actually mean? That doesn't mean you're not out dating. That doesn't mean that you're not out having sex. It just means that you're not in a relationship. Some of these dudes, and you just don't understand, you know? It's okay. Like this guy said, he knows what he's worth. You guys should know what you're worth, man. You don't need to settle, okay? You don't need to let some, society tell you that you're not a catch because, well, you're 15 pounds, 20 pounds overweight. I mean, that's really kind of what women want you. Hot women want you. And let's be honest, if you're going to be, because you can't deny it, if you're going to be, every dude wants a certain type of woman. And if you want your quote unquote hot girl, whatever that is to you, maybe it is a 10 and you think you're a 7, but you're not. The 10 will want you. You just got to find her. And it just, and you know what makes it even worse? And that I've learned just being in Bakersfield, a lot of these cats that have that make some money, and maybe they've gone through a divorce. Maybe this guy's one of them. That girl was right. The woman that called earlier and said they're right. You're always chasing these 20-somethings, these 30-somethings who want to be in the Bakersfield scene because you got money. They want to be out at happy hour. They want to be at the concerts and the shows that put on. They want to be at the festivals that we do. They want to be on Instagram showing everybody how they're living their life. Out at Luigi's on Saturday, spending money, doing those types of things. You're right, they do. But guess what? There's also 40 and 50-year-olds that look just as good and have a better attitude. Why aren't you guys out chasing that? Let me tell you what did you send me here? Excuse me. All right, 842-547-7. Hey, Rome. You need to preach to the team, Romeo. You right. The older the berry, the sweeter the juice. Older women have a better mindset. The younger women, for the most part, over the younger women for the most part, and will understand, have good communication skills. You're absolutely right. But the world's different. The world's changed. And I don't know why a lot of these guys haven't figured that out, especially in Bakersfield. I mean, I get it. Okay, so it's like the girl who called and said when her mom was her age, she didn't look as good as her. And that's the truth. For whatever reason, maybe it's because everybody's carrying around a Yeti with water. I have no idea. But for whatever reason, no matter what your age range is, you can find a hot woman. They just, I don't know, maybe the Lululemons do it. I don't know what it is. But for some reason, just men and women in general are looking better longer. So if you're like this said, if you're some dude who is looking for a woman and you got a good job and you got a house and a car and everything going for you, you don't have to chase, as this woman said earlier, these chicken heads in their 30s who just want their money because they look hot. You can go find an older woman with a better mindset, better communication skills, who's not looking for your money and just as hot. So, I mean, I'm trying to help you guys. I really am. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what more I can do to explain it to you. What did you send me here? Hey, Rome, guys now are so insecure and just jump on the first woman who is into them. Even if it's a one-night stand, they fall in love with a woman who is an 8 with 3 kids rather than a 7 with no kids and career. Let me lay in the bed. Let me lay in the bed. Let men lay in the bed they make and complain later. I don't get it. I would expect you guys to be smarter, but you're just not for some reason. Yo, Rome, my girl just had our baby 4 months ago and her body hasn't bounced back. She gained 40 pounds. To me, I don't care. I think she's beautiful the way she is, but she keeps complaining about her body. She is hardly working out and her eating is pretty bad. How can I tell her to start eating cleaner and start working out more without hurting her feelings? Honestly, what you need to do is just do it with her. The best way to do it is, well, there's 2 ways to do it. She's either got to have friends that look way better than her and are there to make her feel guilty about her body, but it's not going to be you. It's going to be her friends, somebody close to her, or the best thing you can do is be supportive and do it with her. Say, hey, honey, let's, say, hey, I know you're complaining about your body. You look great, but hey, just start doing exercise with her. Whether it's start just walking around the block after dinner. Honey, let's take a walk. Honey, let's do this. Start eating better. Start working. The best thing you could do is do it with her. For all you guys out there, the best thing you can do for your lady, if you want her to lose weight, is do it with her. And even if you got to act like it's for you and not for her, you got to do it. You got to trick them. Hey, Romeo. Yes, older women are so much better at everything. They will cook without asking. They don't ask where you're going. Will lay out your clothes and always ask if you need anything. And when you're ready for sex, they're always ready for you. Yes, Raider Rob has no complaints. Older women. When we say older women, though, we're talking about like 40-year-olds, or we're talking about like 50-year-olds. We're talking about these women that 30 years ago didn't look this good. That age range did not look as hot as they do now. So when it comes to you guys over there chasing these 30-year-olds because they look hot, or these 20-year-olds because you look hot and you have a little bit of money and you got headaches and you're not settling down because you're just going to one chicken head after the other because they're just, you can only deal with them for so long. The thing that you guys need to understand is you're in the wrong age range. You need to go for the 40-year-olds and the 50-year-olds because they know what they're competing with. Not only are they staying hotter longer, but they also know that they have to have a lot more common sense because these 20 and 30-year-olds got no common sense. They don't know how to act mature. So you guys are just out there chasing the wrong thing.
Romeo in the Morning.
Every morning.
On Hot 94.1.